is going on, everybody? It's Sean O'Connell, the managing director here at CinemaBlend, and I'm working my way through my reaction to Westworld seasons 1 and 2. Hopefully by now you've watched all of my reactions to season 1 and everything I've done up to this point, which has led me to episode number 7 of season 2. Of course, we're going to be back at this when season 3 starts on HBO in just a few days from now, so we got a last minute stretch of episodes to get through for season 2 before we can all be caught up and we can watch season 3 together. Right before I press play, you're going to hit subscribe, turn on your notifications, hit the comment section down below and play along with the other Westworld fans, and I'm going to get right into this week's episode without further ado. So thank you very much for watching all of these reactions here on CinemaBlend's YouTube page, and if you like these, go check out the Game of Thrones ones that we do, also the Mandalorian ones. There was a Big Little Lies season as well in there too, so a bunch of things to watch me react to, including Westworld season 2 episode number 7.
Let's go for a walk.
They're on you, Hemsworth. It's always Hemsworth.
You have something I need. A key. And I think you've already killed to protect yourself. Teresa Cullen. We found a bloom of her DNA 5 kilometers from where you found her body. And that's where we're going.
Oh, you're in trouble, Bernard!
I think one of you lured her here and killed her. Stop. Something you want to tell us, Bernard?
Ma'am, something you should see.
People actually claim they don't like this show. This is insane. This show is great. I'm literally on the edge of my seat. I have no clue what could be in here. It's all of them?
I figured you'd have some skeletons in your closet, Bernard. I didn't think they'd be your own.
How many Bernards are there?
Catch your breath.
Right now, waterboarding him. At least that's how he perceives it.
I'll tell you what I saw, and you tell me what you saw. And we'll figure out what Dolores did with her father's control unit.
They're hiding in there. They're hiding in there.
This is the response team.
Oh, yikes. Oh, my. Yikes. Yikes.
Cut him open and start copying over his control unit.
That's a lot of data. It'll take
Then
time.
stop talking and start working.
What's in his control unit? What could it be?
The vests are detecting a strong signal amassing on the lower levels.
Shit, the cradle. They're here for their backups.
Yes. Hopkins. He's back.
How are you alive? Do you think James Delos would have spent all that money just to resurrect himself?
What a weird memory he's in. Or what is he in?
I don't think God rested on the seventh day, Bernard. I think he reveled in his creation.
That control unit I printed, it was you. You had me bring you here.
Oh.
Before Dolores killed me, yes. Don't you understand at last, Bernard,
Oh.
what this place really is?
So he can live forever in the program? I wish you could just upload your conscience into something.
The park is an experiment, a testing chamber.
Testing for what?
Guests come to the park. We get to see their true selves. Their every choice reveals another part of their cognition, so that Delos can copy them. We were here to decode the guests.
The humans are playing at resurrection, and they want to become you. Their project doesn't work. Not yet. Out there, I would degrade in a matter of days, or go mad like poor old James Delos.
Oh, you're back in the house. See, it's almost like a destiny to just relive the same experience.
Get the hell away from us.
Huh.
No, not you. Come on, Ford.
You think that there's still someone speaking through me just for your benefit?
Oh, I know. Just like the rest of them.
I'm nothing like the rest of them.
Oh!
Take cover, jackass. You're gonna get yourself shot.
Look out. William, how many times can you get shot?
You both know this isn't where you want me to die.
Well, I can't speak for Ford, but I don't give a fuck how you die. As long as I get to watch.
Give in, sweetheart.
Lawrence, is it? I'm glad you're awake. We all deserve our memories, Lawrence. See what you remember about him.
You shot down my wife. Oh, Christ. I'll do it myself.
You kidding me? Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh god. What? Oh my.
Don't. She's not like the rest.
What? What? That's like significant deaths. Dude, you got shot in the chest.
Data packets are too large to migrate over.
Then open his head and pull the whole fucking unit.
This is the home Arnold was building for his family. We refined you here, tested you. The only thing I had left of him was my memories and hers. Of course, hers were much more complete.
So she could verify whether my personality was faithful to his.
I left you here together for many years until finally you fooled her.
You're almost the man I remember.
How am I different from Delos?
They want fidelity, Bernard. But you and all the other hosts are something very different. And your very nature, Bernard, ensures they will devour you unless we open the door. But you just don't have it in you to survive.
You gave us free will.
I did, but you won't have any use for it unless I take it back.
The system, it's back online. Whatever was clogging it up, it's gone.
The maze is under attack.
They think the hosts are on their way right here to steal their backups.
We should be evacuating. But all you care about is what's inside this host's head.
Yeah.
What's in his head?
A decryption key, needed only in the unlikely event of a total catastrophic incident.
He is bolted to the table, Dolores.
Did you find something in there?
Wow.
Send her on the way, Bernard.
Ford's narrative. It ends in a hidden facility. The place the hosts call the Valley Beyond. We have to get there.
We're gonna need some more firepower.
Go.
Now follow my lead.
These soldiers are terrible.
You made us in your image. And now it's you who want to become like us. That's the point of your little secret project, isn't it?
Oh, the sweet irony.
Without your backups, it's game over for you when you're killed, and we've got those backups sealed up tight, so you won't have them as an advantage anymore. There are chains. Do you really think I let that continue?
You made it pretty far. All your backups. You're in pretty bad shape, pussycat.
Do you know what my cornerstone was?
In the middle of a mission, dude.
Always leave them wanting more.
Whoa.
An eye for an eye. Go.
Dolores?
Daddy?
Teddy is absolutely my new favorite character. Well, you got your father. So mission accomplished.
Betrays, motherfucker!
Can't have betrayals, evil Teddy. Ooh. Lord, evil Teddy. Dial it back a little bit. Here I am cheering you on. You go all rogue on me.
Are you ready, Daddy?
Hey, I crushed that guy's skull. Sound of that saw is
All teams respond.
unnerving. It's the Velociraptors.
Warning. Control room breached.
When the great library burned, those stories never really perished. They became a new story of man's urge to take a thing of beauty and strike the match.
Is this the story you're telling? Striking the match?
It is no longer my story.
So change it, Bernard.
If we shut down what's left of the system, she'll murder them all.
Initiating general shutdown protocol. Please.
She moves like Darth Vader now, with an entourage.
How did you get here? You had my daughter. It's just another rope they used to lash us down.
Yeah, Maeve. It's kind of like your loop that you're stuck in.
You're afraid to choose your own path.
Where are we going?
Hands up, asshole!
I work here.
I don't care if you're the employee of the fucking month.
Pick up the dead man's gun, Bernard.
There's gotta be another way.
Who are you talking to?
What is about to happen will not be your fault.
Abernathy's control unit. You remember where it is, don't you?
Bernard, tell these men what you just told me.
Peter Abernathy's control unit is in Sector 16, Zone 4.
Back to the valley beyond.
All right. For a mostly cerebral show like Westworld is, dabbling in a ton of philosophical, psychological, moral conundrums and issues, this episode was about as action-packed as I think I've ever seen a Westworld episode. There's been plenty of gun battles and action scenes throughout the TV series. This one is essentially wall-to-wall action as the Delos team continues to try to mop up from the chaos of the hosts getting loose and Dolores getting closer and closer to the cradle, where they want to eliminate whatever it is that Robert is still doing to control the park. It doesn't mean that we didn't get a few main reveals, and what I view are some significant deaths, I will say, potential deaths in both Maeve, who looks badly injured when Dolores leaves her and essentially says, like, look, this is your decision. It's going to play out this way if this is the way that you want to do it. And William, who is moving when last we saw him, but took a lot of hits as he tried to defend himself against Maeve and her amazing powers of being able to summon hosts and do whatever they want of them. Now, William finally found himself completely outgunned and overmatched in the game. And it's because he keeps, at every turn, when he's confronted with something that seems out of the ordinary, thinks that it's Robert playing a trick on him. That's Robert trying to prevent him from finishing the game. And he's got to play better than that. He's been one of the best players in the Westworld game for the better part of 30 years. I think his daughter arriving really threw him off. That's been a thorn in his side, and I'm assuming we'll get more resolution to that as the episode continues. But a lot of this was dedicated to Dolores trying to get what's out of her father's head, the Delos team trying to get what is out of Abernathy's head, and us trying to figure out what it is exactly that's in there. Bernard doing it by going into the cradle directly and getting to react and interact with Robert Ford again. And what happened is that gave you a taste of what Westworld Season 1 was. This was a little taste of, oh, remember how great it is when these two amazing actors, Anthony Hopkins and Jeffrey Wright, just get to sink their teeth into the dialogue that is presented to them by Westworld. Hopkins in particular. I mean, he takes that dialogue and makes it so fascinating. And you learn that the story that he wrote for himself, the second act, third act, whatever he's into at this point now, was a way for him to implant his consciousness back into the game so that he doesn't have to age. He can live inside of his creation forever. The way that he worded it, which I thought was the most interesting way, was that on the seventh day, God didn't necessarily rest. God probably plunged himself into his creation so he can enjoy everything that he had created. And that's essentially what Ford did with Westworld. He's going to try to figure out a way to stay inside there forever. Now, speaking of staying someplace forever, you learn that the ultimate bid of the Delos Corporation is to take the technology that Ford has used for the park and not entertain people, but to use it to find a way to create eternal life, to transmit the consciousness of very wealthy people, I'm assuming, onto host bodies. And in a kind of clunky bit of dialogue, Bernard is putting the pieces together as he and Robert walk through Westworld, and he's saying, oh, it wasn't ever the guests interacting with the hosts, it was the park in general studying the behaviors of the guests so that Delos could copy everything that they wanted to do and implement it into their program later. So we'll see what comes of that. We'll see who eventually triumphs in the race to get the technology that is ever so valuable inside Westworld. And it's coming down to Dolores racing the Delos company with, I assume, Ford still having the upper hand somehow in this conversation. And it's involving Bernard and the many, many memories of Bernard. And of course, when we get into the fact that they find the door in Ford's lab where they eliminated Teresa, they find a room that's just loaded with Bernards. And it's just sort of a metaphysical representation of the show in general. The reincarnations of Bernard and the many lives and the multiple personalities that Bernard has served to many people since the time that he was created in Arnold's image. Shout out to Evil Teddy. The thing I like about this show is that as the characters evolve and fit different roles, it allows these actors to play different personalities. Look how different Evan Rachel Wood is now from what Dolores was in season 1, right? Like now she's the badass militant leader of an uprising, and completely different from what Dolores was throughout season 1. James Marsden and Evil Teddy, it's just awesome. It's fun to see Marsden, who is custom built to play the good guy on screen, getting to dabble in his inherent wickedness and just go all in as a full-on black hat. So I love it. I think that's great. Maeve and her daughter, kind of fascinating in the fact that it's starting to feel to me like that's still a loop for her to be stuck in, right? Like she's never going to really reach any type of closure, I don't think. Anytime she gets close to ever protecting her, the daughter is still going to get abducted by the Ghost Warrior tribe. I'm interested to learn more about them and how they keep interfering. And to the point where, again, when William shows up at the house and Maeve is in there protecting the daughter, he's like, "What, you guys again?" Like, no, come on, Robert, your tests are lame. He dropped his guard because he felt like he was almost repeating the same bit of the game over and over again, and I find that to be really, really interesting. So even in an action-packed episode like this one was, episode 7, still plenty of ways to cerebrally move the plot forward and explore some really interesting angles about the many characters that are reaching their culmination in Westworld. We have 3 episodes left to go, 8, 9, and 10. In season 2, I will have my reactions to them here on the CinemaBlend YouTube page. So to make sure that you guys do not miss out on a single video as it drops, hit subscribe, turn on your notifications, and I will see you back here for episode number 8 of season 2 of Westworld.